grandpa bishop, grandma pastor, like, and his grandma. So I'm like, they're not gonna be there all night. They get in the bed. They're not gonna be there all night. Hey guys, it's your girl Toy. Welcome back to my channel. We are here doing a continuation of part 1 for wedding planning updates, okay? This is now part 2. So thank you guys for coming back. We're gonna jump right into it. But if you are new here, please make sure you subscribe. If you are not new here, welcome back, okay? We're gonna jump right into this, okay? So make sure you have your cookies, your snacks, your water, your juice, your drink, okay? Whatever your drink of choice is. Wine, okay? We're gonna jump right into this in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. When we booked the DJ, his site was amazing, and that's what got me onto websites in the first place. I digressed a little bit, but then I worked my way back. So I hope you guys are following me, okay? Do you have your wine, your water, your snacks, okay? Make sure you have those because I'm getting deeper into this, okay? Now, the DJ, I don't know exactly who my audience is, but I'm going to let you guys know who I am. I'm a black woman, okay? And when it comes to music, I need to make sure that my culture is fully represented, okay? No mistake about it. So I searched for black DJs. I did because that's what we want. And they came up. The reviews were spectacular, and I read damn near all of them. And I was really, really impressed by the reviews, meaning like people just seemed like they had a really great time. And a lot of these reviews on Wedding Wire are left by the bride and groom. And so they were just talking about how people were on the floor all night, how the DJ just kept it pumping, how they were just like so excited and they would love to hire him again. They can't wait to recommend him to someone else. And you got to look out for things like that. When you see that people say, I can't wait to use them for something else or recommend them to someone else, yes, because that means that they were so satisfied that they are willing to talk to someone else on this DJ's behalf to get him some money in their pockets. It has nothing to do with them. They're recommending that, okay? So, we set up a call, and rather he set up the call, and when I tell you, child, when I tell you that this guy had all his stuff together, not only did they have a great website, but they also had a login for the people who are planning the events with an event planner built into the platform so that you can go in and enter all of your information that the DJ is going to need. So they're not sending you a Google form or anything. This is built into their site. And so down to like, what is the, ceremony, reception song? What's the procession song? What are the songs that your wedding party is going to be introduced into the reception to? Give us the names of each couple walking down the aisle. Give us the name of what is your first dance. Like, it just went on and on and on and on. And I was just like, I love filling out forms. Especially when I know the answers. So I'm just filling the stuff out, and it dawned on me, damn. I was like, I have a biological father, and I have a stepfather that is my brother's dad. He and my mom are no longer together, but he's always been a dad to me. And so I was like stumped on, am I going to dance with both dads? Just one dad? Am I going to have my biological, who's going to walk me down the aisle? Like, it just became a thing. And I've been trying to wrap my mind around this for a while because I just did not want him to feel excluded. But these are also some personal things that pop up, and I'll get into that in a second after I'm done with the vendors. So I was just like, I need to think of songs for specific moments that I didn't think of before. I've been to weddings before, but I didn't realize the amount of detail of things that had to be chosen. And I just thought it was just like, what are you walking into? What are you walking out to? But there's just like music for everything, you know, like what music's playing during cocktail hour, during dinner. Obviously, during the reception, the DJ is just balls in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, there's little things to think about. And I have no problem thinking about it because I just love it. It's so much fun if you can make it fun. So we talked to the DJ, and he let us know that he is a club DJ. And so we were like, yes, okay, we want the club. We want club DJ. And so he was like, okay, are you having any children there? And he's, no kids, no flower girl. Okay, no, ring bearer, no children. He's like, oh, okay. So that means that I can play the explicit version. We're like, yeah. And then I was like, wait a second. And so, you know, thinking about my grandparents, you know, grandpa bishop, grandma pastor, you know, like, and his grandma. So I'm like, they're not gonna be there all night. They're getting in bed. They're not gonna be there all night. So we were like, okay, during the, you know, dinner portion, we'll play the clean music. Just save the best stuff for last, okay? And also, after dinner, we turn it all the way up, okay? It's explicit all night. So if you don't want to be here for it, you got to go. You got to go. So we picked a really great package with the DJ. We picked, you know, this thing called, like, I can't tell you the package because there's just so many different things that's included, but we have some details that I think you would like maybe a little bit later on when we actually get married. You guys can see it. But there are like different features that the DJ can do besides the videographer and photographer. Like, the DJ provides also an open air photo booth. And so when I looked at how much the photo booth was going to cost with the videographer and photographer, thousands more dollars than the DJ. Okay, we're talking about a couple hundred, or it's just included in the package, you know. And also so much more affordable. But when I went on their site and I saw some stuff from their past events, I didn't like the backdrop for the photo booth. And so he was like, if you don't like what we have, like, please send us pictures or a link to something that you do want. We will purchase it and we'll keep it and add to our collection, and we'll just throw that in so you have it for. Yes. Because I was stressed. I'm like, people want to take pictures in front of something cool, and I didn't want to like have to make this flower backdrop. I also didn't want to have to buy it because what am I going to do with it after I'm done? So the fact that he offered to buy it, I was like, you booked. We booking you. We are booking you. Thank you very much. So that's something that's also on the list. I have to go on Etsy. I've saved down so many of them, but I was waiting for my florist to get back from her summer vacation in Greece and just sit down with her and look at the colors of the flowers. Like, she sent me a proposal with some colorful flowers that I really liked, and I want to make sure that whatever backdrop I get is complementary to that. I don't want them to be too stark different. Other than that, so we booked the DJ, and then for the videographer and photographer, We found him. Actually, I was watching YouTube, and what I do, here's a great hint, guys, great hint. If you've already booked your venue, go on YouTube and just search for the venue and see all of the professional wedding videos done at that venue, and look and see who did that. Like, the videographer is right there, right in front of you, and if you like their quality of work, reach out to them. Google them, and there you go, because that's how I found this guy. It was between two other places, but I figured we got more, I think we got a little bit more bang for our buck with this guy than the other place that was a top contender. And so we are going to do a same day edit, and that is like the biggest thing that I really want to do, which is like just kind of breaks up the night a little bit. And it shows just the entire day of getting ready, what the guests were not part of. And I just went to a wedding recently, like a couple weeks ago, one of my close friends, and I was telling my fiance, like, even when we were there at the wedding, it was beautiful, but I was telling him, I was like, I need to talk to her because I want to know what happened behind the scenes, because the real wedding happens behind the scenes. It happens with your friends, your family. It happens with setup. It happens with dress up. It happens and the end result is what the guests get to see. So with the same day edit, the guests will actually get a sneak peek of what happened earlier. I love it. If you don't know what a same day edit is, just Google it. You'll love it. And because we picked that package, I had to pick a package with the DJ that included 2 televisions because the videographer needs the TVs. So you've got to make sure that you're kind of like keeping track of all of the details and different things and assets that affect each other. So you want to make sure that, yeah, I got a same day edit. What do you need, videographer, for that same day edit? Do you need a, a projector screen? Do you need a television? How many do you need? Then you go to your venue and just say, do you have a projector? Can we use that? DJ, you have TVs. Like, you've got to work that out. That's what it's like being a project manager. It's just communicating everything to everyone, over communicating if you want to be the best. Okay. Now, after that, with the videographer, we decided to do one photographer and 2 videographers, 2 cinematographers, I believe, so that they can get different angles and different people and different things, and then also output this like cinematic video that tells a very beautiful story. I think we've got a 30-minute video inclusive of all of the other, like the hour-long video that's edited, including the raw footage. And then I think we have them for like 10 hours or something like that. So we picked a pretty big package. It wasn't the biggest, but it was definitely not the smallest. Okay, so let's just be honest. And the reason why I picked that package, you can pick one photographer and one videographer. You do not have to be extra. But I like creating content, and I want to get all of those angles. I want to get all of that beauty. I want to get the stuff that is going to mean a lot to me for years to come, but also stuff that I can do and play around with and put out there for you guys and everyone else to see, because I think that we're gonna have a really dope wedding and it's coming together really, really nicely. So I think that's it for the vendors. So we talked about the vendors. I'll talk about personal stuff last, but after that, we just recently sent out our save the dates. I was like, yo, the process, and I'm gonna make a video on save the dates, because the process of actually getting it into the mailbox from start, which is inception, like, oh, we gotta do save the dates. Let's go on these websites and start looking, to actually putting it in the mailbox was an experience. And I'm not going to cover it all here, but when I do the video, I am going to mention a few websites that I went on to look at different templates and different price points. And also, I'll go through like, you know, the template that we chose, and then how I managed that within the budget that I had created for Save the Dates. If I had to add a little bit more, then I would, based on the need and what we were going to do. And then also how we wanted to display it. Meaning like, do we just want to put it in an envelope and send it, or are we going to get like a wax seal and put it on the back, you know, those little details. And also, I don't know if you guys know this, many of you probably do, some of you don't, it's okay, I'm telling you now, but I love Perfume. I haven't bought anything new recently because we're saving for the wedding. And so, I know that there's a trend on scented invitations and creating a scent for your wedding. And so we sprayed our Save the Date invitations with Tom Ford Bitter Peach. Oh my gosh, it is just beautiful. And every time I smell this, I'm gonna think about our Save the Dates. It is just very, very delicious. I will put a picture of it up here or here. And it was just so nice how we sent that out. And some people said, what is this smell? Like, it is absolutely delicious. It smells so good. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad that the scent made it to where it needed to be. And we told them it's the Tom Ford Bitter Peach. And so we're just like really excited that people are starting to get their Save the Dates. And it's also really funny because, you know, you will have to chase down some RSVPs. We're not chasing down anyone yet, but I've gotten plenty of people holding pictures of their invitations, their Save the Dates, saying, hey, I got it. And I'm like, great, but I don't see that you RSVP'd yet. Even though I know you're coming. So just know that if they have not done it like as soon as they said they got it or within the first couple of weeks, just know that you're gonna have to follow up at some point. It might not be right away, but you're gonna have to do it. Yeah, and so with the Save the Dates being out, I have to say that it took me and my fiance a couple months to find the right Save the Date. Like, I had done an initial search and I was like, okay, these are looking really nice, going on different websites. And then when we found it, make sure that, like, when we got engaged, we did our engagement photo right away. Like, I see a bunch of timelines putting engagement photos at like maybe 6 months in or whatever. Like, why? Why are we waiting so long to do our engagement photos? I can see if you're like on the East Coast and you got engaged in the winter and you just rather wait till it got nicer out. Like, I get it. But if you're doing it for the sake of following someone else's blueprint, don't do that. Because I'm going to tell you how working on your digital assets right away can help you create all of the other amazing things that you want to do throughout the journey, and you have those assets to pull from. If you're just doing things as you go along or waiting, you're either going to get stressed out, or you're going to get unmotivated, or you're going to get not feel creative to do what you want to do because you don't have the things that you're looking for. If you knock this stuff out, you won't have much to worry about. So we did our engagement photo like maybe a month or two after we gotten engaged. I used those photos for our social media page that we created specifically for people to follow our journey to the altar. So we're going to get into social media stuff, and we're going to get into like how you roll out your wedding campaign to not only the masses, but also your guests. And so, you know, I'm doing this based off of my own experience and little things that I research. I'm not taking everything that I'm doing from someone else's blueprint. I'm doing this based off of what I know is right as a project manager, but also someone who is very creative and someone that knows that it's just, you know, work smarter, not harder. Okay. And so you'll have your pictures for your social media page, for your website as you're working on it, for your save the dates. And also, if you want to throw a picture on your invitation, you'll just have all that stuff to pick from. And you can work on that throughout the entire year. Let's say 12 months, because we're doing 12 months. You'll have that stuff to work on throughout the entire year instead of waiting until the later half of your journey. Don't make no sense to me. So knock that out. And we'll talk about that as well. We'll talk about budgeting too. Like there's definitely a lot of things that we can talk about together when it comes to wedding planning. And I can't wait to get into that with all of you. I'm not giving you all the details right now, but I am giving you kind of like a summary of what we're going to talk about, what is going to come in the future. And so when it comes to you know, having all that stuff ready, and being less stressed, you can have more things to play around with. And so we'll get into that too. So I also picked a wedding fragrance. I've got them behind me, and a lot of these that I do have behind me is because I was searching for a wedding fragrance pretty early on. And I just added them to the collection because one, they smelled amazing, but when it comes to which fragrance am I going to wear, I'm like, should I tell you now or should I wait? Because if I tell you now, are you really going to watch the video? Let's wait. But it's up here. It's up here. If you can pick one out, if you can guess, leave it in the comments. Leave it in the comments. Let me know, out of whichever ones you guys can see back here, which one do you think I'm going to wear for my wedding? We will have a video about that. Also, I found my dress. We've got to talk about that. You know, that's a video. I had so many dresses pinned on Pinterest. I did not go to Kleinfeld. I could have, you know, it's not like I'm far. But we didn't go. We went to Castle Couture in Manalapan, New Jersey. And I found my dress from there. It is beautiful. And I will tell you guys in that video why I found the dress twice. Let's keep it at that, okay? Found the dress twice. And I'll just let you guys know like what it's like, what the experience was like, how much fun we had, and just like, you know, how it felt as a woman for the first time stepping into a wedding dress. You know, like, this is it. Like, this, the time has come. Like, I didn't really think this would ever happen, but it's happening right now. We'll talk about that. And then also, we're planning a meet and greet for our bridal party. So we went through a couple different options, and we settled on a sip and paint. So the first option, we're going to have it in October, mid-October, exactly mid-October. And it's kind of like, what can we do that's wedding related and also fall themed and fun? So we thought about going to Topgolf in Edison, and it was just way too expensive. You know, we're talking about 18 people because we're letting our bridesmaids and groomsmen bring a guest. And so, you know, significant other, friend, whoever. So it was just not in our budget. Then we were thinking about going up to the Hudson Valley for apple picking, a day of apple picking and wine tasting, which was fabulous, honey. I was like, oh my God, I would love to do this. And, you know, they have food and live music. It just like in mid-October, come on. We're still going to go, but maybe not as a group, but, you know, maybe me and the fiance will go. And so then I reached out to the sip and paint place, and they got back to me, and I was like, okay, this is doable. This works. So we changed our plans for everyone doing that. And it's right in the same time frame as, you know, when we first were going to do Topgolf, and also in the similar vicinity. So we kind of like worked it out from there. And so we're really excited to bring everyone together because, you know, my friends and his friends don't really know each other like that. Because, you know, everybody's spread out. And so it's just gonna be really nice getting everybody together and just like seeing, like getting a sneak peek of like what the day is gonna be like. You know, it's gonna be really, really fun. So we worked on that, and then today we went to Men's Warehouse. And so last night, I just, you know, off of a whim, because it's something that we know we need to do in the next coming weeks, but we didn't need to do it last night and today. It's just the way things happened, and I'm okay with that, and he's okay with that, so we're good. But I started looking up suits on Men's Warehouse for the groomsmen and the bridesmen and the men in our family that are going to be involved in the entrance of the ceremony. And so it was just like, what do we want them to wear? And I started to put some stuff together, like, you know, certain jackets with different vest colors and different bow ties. And then I was trying to find a tie that was the same color as the bridesmaids' dresses. I have not gone shopping with the bridesmaids just yet. But I know that we're going with the iris color from David's Bridal. And also they have iris bow ties and vests at Men's Warehouse. So I'm like, okay, I know what colors we're working with, but they don't have the iris color and the pocket square. So I was just like, all right, whatever. The jacket that we had initially chosen was this charcoal paisley jacket with the black lapel. And it's tuxedo, because we also confirmed our attire for the wedding, which is black tie. So, you know, we're expecting all the men to be in tuxedos or dark suits with bow ties. And so I built all of the different profiles for all of the men in the wedding party, including my grandfather and my dad's and my brother, who's going to escort my mom down the aisle, my fiance's brother, who's going to escort his grandmother down the aisle. And so, you know, for some reason, their website was not very user-friendly. It was just very, like, buggy. I sound like I'm at work, okay? It just felt like, it just kept crashing or something. And so, it was a miracle that I was able to get everyone in there with their phone numbers and also create a look specific to their role. And so I let my fiance come out and see it. He liked it. But this morning when I woke up, I was just like, and it was like 8:30. I was like, maybe we should just go to Men's Warehouse and see what these items look like in person. I really suggest you guys do that. Do not just order stuff online if you can help it, without going there in person, like a Men's Warehouse. I'm not talking about places that don't have a brick and mortar, but if you live next to if you live next to a place like that, then go in, because when we looked at that paisley charcoal jacket, he didn't like it at all. He was like, no, it just looks horrible. And it was just like silver looking or whatever. So we decided not to go with that. And we picked out another different jacket for the groomsmen, a different type of lapel, like a peak lapel for the men in our family. And the groomsmen have a silk lapel here, and they have the iris colored bow ties. And we decided to go without a vest for everyone. Like, no one needs to wear a vest. At first we had a vest, but I did ask the associate if, like, what were the trends, you know, like, are men wearing vests? Like, do they do it? Like, what's going on? He was like, no, a lot of people are not grabbing the vests when they grab the tuxedos. I'm like, well, we're not going to start the trend over, okay? So no vests. So we got that handled. And the fiance, he you know, he has the suit that he's going to wear, but we're going to change out the jacket. We're going to get a jacket from somewhere else. And we'll let you know what that jacket is. Maybe when we get closer to the wedding, or maybe after the wedding, because I don't want to give away his look either. Okay. You know, I don't want nobody giving away my look for sure, but definitely not his. So we'll keep that to ourselves for right now, but we're going to get a different jacket for him. So I'm glad that a lot of the big stuff is out the way. What I have to focus on myself is hair, makeup, and also getting my bridesmaids fitted for their dresses as well. The men are going to probably wait a little bit longer, maybe like till we get to like maybe a month before the wedding, before they go and get fitted and get their stuff out the way, because people are losing weight. Okay. People are losing weight, and it seems like for the men it's a lot easier for them to, one, yes, lose the weight, but two, their turnaround time is a lot shorter when it comes from, you know, from order to shipping. But the bridesmaids dresses take months. So we've got to get those ladies out there at whatever size they're at right now, and we'll just make it do what it do, baby. That's what I'm saying. So other than that, that's what's been happening so far with the wedding. I built the wedding website. I will talk about that in another video, because that's its own thing too. How to search for the right template, which website to use for the free website, whether that's the Knot or Minted or what is the other one? I'm just like, the other ones I kind of put out of my mind because I was just like, you know, this is not what I'm looking for. But you also have to make sure that the websites that you're building your website, wedding website on, maybe has tools that you can use to help you manage your RSVPs, table setting, or not table settings, but you know, like table counts with folks. I'm like talking and rambling, like table counts with folks. See if you can find a website like that. I'm using the Knot. It is just a lot more intuitive, and I like the template that I found on there. Some of the other websites were like either cutting off our pictures. There was one site that I found a template that I really liked, but then when we uploaded all the pictures, right, because we did it early, we did our photo shoot early, when I uploaded them and then went to click on them to expand, it would cut off. It was just like a 1x1, like a whole like Instagram frame. Okay. I was like, we did not spend all this time styling our engagement shoot. We'll do a video about that. And taking all these photos, spending the money it took for that, the photos, the location, you know what I'm saying? We did not put in all that effort and cash just to have our photos cut off because I like this template. You know, you've got to make some tough decisions. You can find the most beautiful template, and if it's not working for your aesthetic and the things that you've already invested in, you've got to nix it. You've got to nix it. You've got to make the right decisions for these things, because if not, you're going to waste money, waste time and effort because you're just like, but I like it. No. Is it expanding your entire photo? Like I have a photo on my site, and I'll put it up here, that is lengthwise, and I want everyone to see the dress that I bought for it. So make sure you do that. Also, we'll talk about our engagement video that is over 100K. We were blown away because it was raising like numbers really, really quick. I was like, oh, are we famous? Oh, child. No, we're not famous. But clearly people really like that video. And that's about it when it comes to the logistics of wedding planning. Now, when we talk about personal things, just know that yes, I will do a separate video about this a little bit more in depth, because I think it's important, especially for my brides out there. You know, like when I say like I feel for the brides, is because they deal with a lot of stuff. And I'm part of a Facebook group, not gonna list it, not gonna mention it, but I'm part of the Facebook group, and it's just for brides. And I see them in there, you know, really venting and really sharing their innermost feelings about what's going on with not only their wedding, but also their bridal party, their family, their friends, their, you know, vendors and stuff like that. So if you can find a Facebook group or a community to belong to, so that you can like just get an idea of what is a possibility, so that you're prepared for it. Because there's nothing worse than being blissful in your own wedding bliss and then being hit with something that hurts your feelings or something that makes you uncomfortable because you didn't see it coming. And so we're going to talk about those things. And so, like I mentioned earlier, some of those things could just be, you know, people's personal preferences. And people will think that just because they have some sort of relationship to you, that they are, you know, that their preference is required, or that their preference is a mandatory. And so you may have to have some, what my old boss used to say was courageous conversations, and letting some folks know that no, I can't do that, or no, we're not going to do that, or I can try to accommodate, but I can't make any promises, you know, like then sometimes those conversations spiral into some deeper family issues, and those things can spiral into other things, and you're just like, but at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's not about you. You know what I'm saying? Like once you start to feel yourself like trying to make amends, or trying to make a you know, accommodate this person and accommodate that person, and you're just like, why am I doing all of this? I am doing all the work, me and my fiance. We're putting in all of this money, and it's about our union. It's about our day. It's about our love for each other. We're inviting you to witness our love. We're feeding you, yes. We're partying with you, yes. We want you here to help support us. But please, you have to realize that there will be some people that will push themselves on you. And you have to be prepared for that. I've had people try to bully me into an invitation, and it's not nice. It's not fun. It doesn't make you feel good. It adds undue stress on top of other things that you're already dealing with. And so you have to realize that you're going to have to deal with some of these things. It may not be all of them, but it may be one or two. And everybody's family dynamic is different. So just know that if you have a day or a wedding journey that has none of this in this, kudos to you. Happy for you. So this is not for you. This is for everyone else that has some sort of situationship going on with people that they are close to. And then you have to put on your big girl or big boy panties and put your foot down and tell folks in a nice way, or maybe in a not so nice way, depending on how many times you've had this conversation, that you hear them and you understand where they're coming from. But this is what you want. And this is important to you. And if they loved you, they would understand that and not make you uncomfortable. I've also had people say, don't forget my invite. What? You're not even on the guest list. What do you mean don't forget your invites? You're not on the guest list. And now what am I supposed to do? Okay? Because people know that I am responsive on social media. Like, Now I gotta sit there and blink for a few minutes and figure out, how am I going to respond to this? And if I don't respond to it, then I look like I'm being evasive. And if I'm evasive, then that means that I have a problem with it. And I don't want no problems. Not because I'm scared, but just because I don't have time for it. I don't want no problems. So I have to like come to grips with some things that, yeah, I have to invite certain people because they are family and I'm choosing to, but also making sure that they know and other people know that there will be certain things that will not be, tolerated. And I say this because in my particular situation, I have people from all walks of life. Okay? And I also have people from work, people who are childhood friends, people who are new friends, meaning like we've been friends for the past 5 years. That's what I mean by new. I'm not talking about like I knew you last year, now you coming to the wedding. I have people like, it's just, you can't prepare for every instance, but if you can prioritize and red flag certain things, then you know what to be on the lookout for, and you can better prepare yourself to deal with that and have backup in case it's needed. Okay? I'm not saying anything's gonna happen like fights breaking out or whatever. I'm just talking about if there's an open bar, okay, and you know that there are some people in your family who are just too happy with the drinks, okay? You've got to understand that that's a thing there. You can't blindside it. You can't be, talk to your uncle, talk to your auntie, talk to your mom, anybody, and say, can you please watch out for that one over there? Just do me a favor, just watch out. Like if there's something going on, intervene. Please don't make it be a big scene, because they're there, you invited them, you want to enjoy your wedding with them, but you also don't want to cause any issues or any type of embarrassment for either party. And that's just keeping it real. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this catch-up video. I am going to work on this video and get this up, and also work on that bridesmaid proposal dinner because that was super fun, and start like busting out some of this content. But again, guys, just letting you know, life happens, life be lifing, and on top of planning a wedding pretty much by myself and me and my fiance, and working a full-time job, and also doing this content, some things rise higher to the surface than others, and so I will try to get out as much of this content as I can, but know that I'm also gathering research, gathering information so that I can properly package it up for you and give it to you throughout this journey. So we've got 7 months left. We've got time. And in between that, I am going to do some reviews on some perfumes, on some scents, and also on some male scents as well. That's on the agenda. And I hope you guys subscribe. There is plenty of stuff to talk about. Let me know in the comments, like, are you getting married? Have you gotten married? What are some things that you look out for? What are some red flags? What are some great things that you've experienced? What are some accomplishments that you've had throughout the planning of your wedding as well? If you've got some hints or some guidance, please leave it in the comments. And then also hit me up if you have any other questions or ideas or things that you would like to see on this channel. I have one viewer that hit me up on one of the other videos that just wanted a series on branding your wedding, and that is something that I am working on by putting all this stuff together, is how you're branding your wedding, and also like just being a little bit truthful about some stuff behind the scenes, because it's all fun and dandy until somebody tells you that they don't want to sit next to grandma. Okay? Because they want to drink all night. All right, guys. I will see you guys later. I hope you enjoyed this. I will chat you in the comments below. I will answer your comments, and then I will see you next time. All right, bye.